Hello, hello. I am here to talk with you about college syllabi. So if you are here, let me know you are here. Say what's up. Type in a comment. Say hello. I'm going to just go over some really important key things about a syllabus, what it is, what it's used for, and some important things to look out for in your college syllabi. So this is going to be really, really helpful for new students, first-year college students. So hopefully, if you are a first-year college student, you are joining me, or if you know one, tag them in this video so they get this information. So this video is going to be, again, about college syllabi, giving you a little bit of just basic information, kind of making it simple. If you know anything about me, you know that I've been a college professor for a number of years. I am Krisler Bailey. I currently teach at TCU, and I have been teaching sociology for most of my career, but I also have taught some kind of intro to college courses along the way. And because I've taught mostly freshmen and a good amount of sophomores, I see a lot of students really struggle with some very basic and fundamental things. And so what I want to do is give you a quick rundown of one of those fundamentals, and that is the college syllabus. So I'm going to kind of be looking off screen a little bit at my syllabus just to remind me to share a few things. But if you have questions, throw them in the chat or throw them in the comments, and I will do my best to answer your questions. So basically, a college syllabus is an agreement between you and your professor. The professor will take time before the semester starts to put a lot of information in the syllabus. Now, some of it is information that is specific to the course, and some of the information is for the university as a whole. For example, the professor is going to give you information about the class. They're going to describe the class. They're going to put a class description in there. That's going to be something that's specific to that particular class. But there are going to be other things that are university statements. For example, information about Title IX, for example. That's likely to be in your syllabus, or something related to how to get accommodations or who to talk to about accommodations at your university. So that's a university general policy. So at the beginning of your syllabus, you are going to notice that the class information is going to be listed, the name of the class, and usually that's abbreviated into either 3 or 4 letters. So as I said, I teach Intro to Sociology. So on my campus, it's SOCI. Many campuses are like that. You'll see a number afterwards that is just the basic kind of code for the university. So at my university, it's 5 numbers. At your university, it might be 4 numbers. It just depends on the university. So you'll see those letters, then some numbers. And then the next set of numbers is going to be the class section, usually. Okay, and I'm talking, this is very general, so it may not look exactly the same at your university, but this is just giving you an idea of what you're going to see. So again, for Intro to Sociology, you see SOCI. There's those 5 numbers. And then there's the section. The section is the specific code that will tell you and the university when your class is. So usually a lower number, so in my case 10, that's the lower number. That's earlier in the day, right? 20, 30, 40, progressively gets later in the day. So that kind of gives you an idea of when you're seeing those section numbers. when in the day approximately the class might meet. So that's what those numbers and codes mean. Typically also, you'll see on your syllabus that there is the semester, fall, summer, spring, right, whenever you're meeting, and then the year. There will also be general information about how many credits the class is, when the class meets, if it meets Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, if it meets Mondays at 5 p.m., right? It's going to say that all of those things are going to come at the beginning of your syllabus. Now, the meeting location also is going to be on your syllabus as well. And I really, really, really want to impress upon you to check, and recheck this meeting location before you actually head off to class on the first day. I cannot tell you how many times meeting locations have changed at the last minute. So check, and recheck meeting locations to make sure that you are headed to the right place. I strongly advise that the day before classes start, that you actually walk your schedule, so you know how to get to that location and you're not roaming all around like a poor lost soul, okay? So that kind of gives you a little bit of information about kind of the basics of reading the beginning of your syllabus. You're also going to find on your syllabus the information about your professor in terms of how to contact them and when or how long it will take to get a response from them. So many professors will say within 24 hours, some will say within 48 hours, some will say 2 business days. It really just depends on that professor. So that gives you an expectation of, if I send an email, Thursday at 2 o'clock, I'll probably get an email response back by Friday at 2 o'clock. Your professors may also offer other information like phone numbers where you can contact them. Their office will be on there. And again, this is something I strongly suggest you look at and then go to their office. Actually, take your little self right on down to their office so you know how to get there. You're not wandering around like a lost soul when you have questions. Now, your syllabus also will contain information on materials that are needed for the class. Now, some classes will require textbooks, some may not. You will be able to find this information on the syllabus, usually on the first page. So textbook information, ISBN, is it a book that you can purchase or is it a rentable book? There might be a link directly to a website. All of that is likely going to be information you can find on the first page of your syllabus. Additionally, how the class is going to run in terms of what type of teaching methodologies your professor is going to use. So if it's a lecture class, if there's going to be discussion, if your professor is going to have guest lectures, if you'll watch videos, all kinds of things. There's all kinds of teaching methodologies. If your class is going to meet face-to-face or online at all, right? Those types of things are going to be included. So other things that you can look for in your syllabus are the grade expectations and the assignment breakdowns. So for my assignments, I do quizzes and tests. For my intro classes, there's also a final, and there's also activities that we do in my classes. And so those types of things you'll see under the assignment section. Your instructors are likely going to tell you what the assignment is going to be. They may not give you all the specific instructions right there, but they're going to tell you what the assignment is going to be, how many, right? So in my classes, in intro, they have 4 tests. I tell them ahead of time 4 tests, right? If there's going to be quizzes in person, online, if they're planned or unplanned, or surprise pop quizzes, whatever y'all want to call them. Other things like how many points you can earn on that assignment, or what percentage total Maybe it's 30% of your grade or something like that. So you can get an idea of how the class is going to run in terms of what you're going to be responsible for in completing assignments and what that's going to look like, how that can come out with an effect of your overall grade. Some other things that will be included, there will be a grade scale to tell you, some universities will use A, B, C, D, F. Some will use a plus or minus. Some universities actually leave that up to the professor to choose which one they will use. So make sure you look for that on your syllabus as well. There's going to be an attendance policy. Sometimes there is a specific university policy that's going to be included. So there may be a general university policy, but the instructor is going to also tell you some things about what their expectations are. And here's the thing regarding attendance. Show up. I mean, this is something that's universally expected. You show up, you stay the whole time, you actively engage, right? So these are things that you're probably going to see in the portion of the syllabus talking about attendance. But there will be some professors that will actively include grading as a part of attendance. So you need to look for that in the attendance section to see, does it explicitly say, if I miss 3 classes, then my grade is going to be affected? Or do you have some professors that maybe they don't include that because that's not a part of their policy? So look for that. How long it's going to take a professor to grade assignments. Oftentimes, professors will say, when you turn in this paper, I will get it back to you within 2 weeks, right? So it gives you, again, an idea of when to be expecting that feedback from your instructors. Late work and makeup policies are also included in a syllabus. So it is really important for you to know if your professor accepts late work or not, what that policy is, if there's makeup work available to you, what does that look like, right? That is going to also be something that is explicitly listed out in the syllabus. If it isn't, ask the professor, hey, I noticed there is no makeup policy in the syllabus, and actually don't start your conversations with your professor with hey. But anyway, that's another video. But talk with them and just say, I've noticed this. Did I miss it? What is your makeup policy? Can you explain this? But it should be in their syllabus, so look for that. Then there's going to be some other course policies. If the professor has to cancel class for some reason, they're going to include policies regarding written and verbal communication with them. They're going to include their policies on, academic misconduct. And a lot of times that is kind of generally framed from the university policy, but they may include their own wording as well. Now, of course, AI is a big deal these days. And so the university may have a university AI policy. If they don't, as of yet, your professor will likely have their own policy. I include an AI policy, and actually it's different for my intro classes versus my social problems classes, just because the nature of the classes is different, and the type of work that they do in both classes is different. So look for that, right? Look for those policies to see, is that something that's specifically stated? And if it's not, have a conversation with your professor. Just say, I've noticed this isn't in here. Did I miss it? And if it's not in there, can you let me know what to expect regarding AI? What are your expectations for this class and for me as a student? And then, like I said, there's a lot of other policies that are kind of just general university policies you will see in your syllabus. So things regarding campus procedures with e-learning, right? So, it could be a situation that's an emergency situation like we had a few years ago, or it could just be a general e-learning policy. My university doesn't really have a lot of e-learning, so there's a general policy, but it's not something we utilize a whole lot. Now, you may go to a university where there's e-learning all over the place, right? So they're going to have probably much more specific, very like clearly held expectations for that platform. Things about campus life. So if it's called campus life, dean of students, student affairs, there are going to be policies related to that, and information about the various areas on campus where you can get help, like the writing center, tutors on campus, other resources like a rec center, counselors, the health center, right? There's going to be probably a section just generally that lists out what some of the campus resources are. If that is not there, make sure you get a hold of something that gives you that information, because you're going to need it all 4 years or however many years it takes you to get through college. There may be other information on your learning management system. Basically, that is the platform that is used for you to engage in your class. So whether that's Blackboard, Canvas, Brightspace, Moodle, whatever the other ones are, there's going to be information in the syllabus about that. Maybe just how to connect with the help desk, how to log on, those types of things. So look for that in your syllabus. I'm also going to do a separate video about learning management systems. So make sure you are checking back and following Professor Krisler, because I will be doing videos like this to kind of give you more strong foundation for how to have a good start. So that is a lot of information. But again, I wanted to give you just some foundational things about what to look for in a syllabus, what it is, what do you use it for. And speaking of what do you use it for, listen, you should be using your syllabus all the time. Every time you are doing anything related to your class, like just in general, check your syllabus. If you have a question, look in your syllabus. If you're thinking, I wonder if we have something due next week, look at your class schedule. Some professors will include it within their syllabus. Some it will be a separate document. Make sure you are looking at that consistently. I wonder where my professor's office is. Check your syllabus. I wonder what my professor's email is. Check your syllabus. I wonder where we meet for class. Check your syllabus, right? Make sure you are using this document, because I will tell you, as somebody who's been doing this for over 20 years, I still spend hours and hours and hours and hours updating my syllabi and my schedule every single semester, because I want it to be on point for my students before they walk through those doors. So I guarantee you, not all professors are like this, but I guarantee you that most of them are. They're working really, really hard to give you the best that they can so that you walk away from their class with something useful. So check your syllabus. If it's not there, then ask your professor. Have that conversation. Send that email. So I hope this was helpful for you. Like I said, if you're a first-year student, make sure you keep checking back for videos like this. If you know a college student, tag them in this video so that they get the help that they need. Until next time, I'll see ya. Bye.